Give me your best shot. Come here. You are defeated, York. Yield! You are the champion. I yield! Huzzah! Sorry, great fun, but a tissue of lies. Lies. From start to finish. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what's known as a fighting night show. It's just not the way it was. And it's our fault, because Warwick Castle was the first castle in the world to put on a thing called a fighting night show. 35 years ago. It's full of lies. The first lie. What's this? Shield, but listen. It's a shield that is made out of metal. Do you know who used metal shields? Hollywood. They never existed. Why? Because they're useless. That's why. The transfer of energy through the shield numbs your arm in seconds. If you're going to use a shield at all, make it out of wood. Cover it in leather. It's gently curved, so it absorbs the blow. No metal shields.
And sword fighting. Clashing blades again and again and again. That's your second lie. That didn't happen either. Swords are supposed to be razor sharp. If you were to clash it against another, you destroy your sword in seconds. And when it comes to sword fighting, you don't try to hit the man's sword. You try and hit the man. If not, it ends up looking like medieval Morris dancing. And the duration of a sword fight. They don't last 5 to 10 minutes. There's no prancing about, jumping on tables, and swinging from chandeliers. No. Sword fighting is quick. And normally over in seconds. 10 seconds is long for a sword fight.
The weight of weapons, ladies and gentlemen. Yet another lie. You see men bigger than me fighting in tournaments, struggling to pick up swords because they weigh about 6 or 8 pounds. Never. There isn't one of these things. The single-handed arming sword in any collection throughout the world that weighs more than 2 3/4 pounds. That is lighter than most samurai swords. But this is not a toy. This is a lethal surgical instrument in the right hands. I was reading the other night an account of the Battle of Isha. A knight writes down what happened to him in the battle the day before. It goes something like this. In the press of the battle, I came upon a soldier. He had murder in his hand. My sword struck him at the base of his neck. It passed diagonally all the way through his body to just here, and then the top half of his body hinged off like a door.
No.
Excellent. But it was the next bit that got me. He went on to say, the soldier took no further part in the battle that day. That day? Is it 2 hours? But by 1471, the period of the Kingmaker, when this castle ruled England, this sword is redundant on the battlefield. If you take a sword to war, it isn't one of these, it's one of those.
This is the weapon of the 15th century knight, the hand and a half sword. And if you were a knight 500 years ago, you will be given your first one of these at the age of 6. That's right, your first sword at 6. And then, for the rest of your life, you'll practice your swordsmanship. And you practice against one of these. the cutting post, to practice your blade speed and your footwork. Now the reason why these things are selected is because they are the same thickness as human bone. And at the end of every session, you will cut your post in half. So it's like practicing to cut a man's arm off. Brilliant. So Mark, how about cutting the post for us?
Me?
Yeah, you. Go on. Easy, we can do it. Straight through. Go on. Straight through the post. Come on.
I can't do it.
Why not?
Because there's another line.
Another line.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are not really medieval knights. No, in fact, I am a 52-year-old diabetic. Yes. And he is a failed Johnny Depp lookalike. Asked to do this by the castle, we work on it, but we haven't trained since we were 6 years old.
Exactly. And we cannot guarantee the cutting of the post every single time. So we need to get behind Sir Mark. Even if he doesn't make it through, let's give him a massive cheer. So come on, Sir Mark, straight through the post. Let's go. Yeah! Yeah! Excellent.
Fantastic. But ladies and gentlemen, another lie. Swords on battlefields? Very rare. Why? Because they're incredibly expensive. But all sorts of other weapons. Spears, axes, and of course, percussion weapons like this. The mace. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a nobbler. And this is where the term to be nobbled comes from. This was the favourite weapon of the fighting clergy. What? Yes. Abbots would go onto the battlefield in the 12th century in armour and they would fight. But the church said they must never use an edged weapon against a fellow Christian. So they used these instead. So we're going to demonstrate this to Lewis.
How about some salad? I hate salad.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been reliably informed that a white cabbage is the same density and consistency as the human brain. So in the interest of science, do you think we should hit that cabbage with this? Yeah. So do I.
Excellent. Right here for you. There you go.
Countdown.
How about countdown from 5? Here we go, folks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Just imagine that blood and brains spraying everywhere. Your eyeballs explode in your head. It comes down your nose, in your mouth.
Oh, it's enough, it's enough. Got a dodgy tummy. Alright, now, all the weapons we've shown you so far become rather insignificant when compared to the ultimate weapon on the medieval battlefield. And that is one of these, the great sword,
The poleaxe.
What did you say?
It's the poleaxe.
No, it's the great sword.
It's the poleaxe.
It's the great sword. Look at it, it's amazing. It's got a razor-sharp blade. Perfect for killing.
This is a big axe.
Well, with this, okay, you don't fight with it like a regular sword. You fight with it like a staff. So you can fight loads of people at once. It's perfect.
This is a big axe.
Well, with this, you can cut with it. You can stab with it. You can hook with it. You can smash with it. It's amazing.
Yeah, but this is a big axe.
Well, the one thing you are forgetting, Sir Mark, big swords are sexy.
So's a big axe.
If you say so. Right, there's only one way to resolve this. I reckon we should fight. My great sword versus your poleaxe. What do you reckon, folks? Do you want to see us fight?